Now we've got a couple versions of what I think of the same thing, and it is, how do you market yourself for the first time, and how do you get over yourself to speak in truths online? When you are marketing yourself or your business online, especially for the first time, it's going to be an exercise in self-discovery, right? There's been no better self-discovery for me in identifying my own weaknesses and where I need to lean into my strengths than building online and marketing myself online, right? Because it's a place where you've got to balance, humility and not being a douchebag online with having to also be the person that's responsible for all the self-promotion. You are head of self-promotion when you are building your own business, either as a solopreneur, but as any founder, and you're building up to your 7 and 8 figures. No one is going to market you and your solution better than you are. And if you don't do it, it is going to cost you big time. It is going to cost you significantly. I realized this really early in the process, and I had to come out of a shell and kind of get over a few things to really get comfortable marketing myself. And if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I'd be standing in front of this camera doing this, hell no. Like, not in a million years I wouldn't have been. But it's been an evolution for me. And one of the things that stuck with me was, one of my mentors and actually a client once said, nobody knows how good you are until after they hire you. Up until that point, you're only as good as your marketing. I had been thinking more like an employee, right? Like, I didn't want to be, self-aggrandizing. I didn't want to, be a braggart. I didn't want to sound like an asshole or a douchebag. So I didn't necessarily go out and just start promoting myself online. It took me a while to get comfortable doing that. Maybe as an employee, I could let my work do the talking for me. But as an entrepreneur in building online, where marketing is an integral, really important part of the game and will determine your level of success in the long run, you can't only rely on the work. Now, the work over the long haul should actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. If you're doing good work, you'll have testimonials, you'll have social proof, you'll have the case studies that you need. But to get started, to get to your first 100,000 or your first million, you have to get comfortable promoting yourself. And one of the things I actually did, this was really uncomfortable, but I asked somebody who was very good at promoting themselves online. I said, hey, how do you kind of get over yourself? Like, how do you get comfortable speaking on camera or doing what you've got to do? His advice was, go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever your audience is. Go live for 30 days in a row without a script, right? Turn it on and go live, start talking. And it was really uncomfortable. The first time that I went live, I said, all right, this is super awkward, but I'm going live for 30 days in a row. That's some advice that somebody gave me that I trust. And here I am. And I'm going to be going live for the next 30 days. And I'm going to be talking about sales. I'm going to be talking about marketing. I'm going to be talking about sales leadership. And I did that for 30 days in a row. And it really was transformational. It was really, really helpful. And it wasn't necessarily the content itself. It was the process of just getting out of my comfort zone. It was the process of saying, I'm going to systematize being uncomfortable for a period of time every day for 30 days. And that starts to become a habit. And that was one of the breakthroughs that I had. I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't gotten comfortable being uncomfortable with that crash course. So that was really good advice for me. The other thing that I can say is, in terms of marketing yourself, just remember, you are marketing a business, right? Like, you are marketing not you as a person, right? So stop thinking like an employee. Like, this isn't about you. This isn't a rejection of you. This isn't an acceptance of you. You aren't selling you. Get yourself and the product separate. Another benefit of productizing, frankly, is you now have a solution to sell. You have a process to sell. You have a product to sell, and it's not you as a person. So when they say no to this productized service that solves a specific problem for a specific market, which is entrepreneurial thinking, you kind of separate yourself from the product, which is more employee thinking when you combine those two things. So I would think more like an entrepreneur. I would get comfortable getting uncomfortable. And I ended up getting a client out of the 30-day lives, and they were terrible. They sucked. They weren't any good. But somebody said, I want a coach that does that. So I can't promise that that's necessarily going to be the case for you, but nobody gave me shit. Nobody was an asshole about it. And it worked really well for me. So that's some of the advice that I've got for you on that. Hope it helps.